Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Makes me feel loved. Click subscribe, share, leave a comment. Thank you. All right, we're moving on to Therapeutic Thursday. This is such great information. So, in case you weren't aware, letting you know this now, Aortic Hope offers support group meetings in a virtual environment, not only for patients, but also for caregivers and also for those who have lost loved ones due to aortic disease. So, this is very different than Facebook. Facebook is really a great place that you're going to go to when you first are diagnosed or you have survived an aortic dissection, but that is limiting in the support you receive. There is no backing by an organization that has clinical consultants. It can sometimes be a scary place. It can usually be a wonderful place, but sometimes it can be a little bit of a scary place because a lot of people like to pretend that they're doctors. Not me. I can't even pronounce words. I definitely can't be a doctor. So, what makes this a little different is that these virtual face to face meetings that happen via Microsoft Teams are actually led by people like you. So, if you go to a general meeting, you're going to have a survivor, somebody who's been diagnosed with aortic disease, maybe had an aortic dissection. They've been vetted by Aortic Hope and they're moderating and leading that support group meeting. If you're in the caregivers only meeting, which we're pretty tight on that, it's only for caregivers, that is going to be led by caregivers of people with aortic disease. And if you decide to attend the grief meeting or the bereavement meeting, that's because somebody has lost a loved one and they are leading that meeting as well. We also have guest speakers on occasion, and that can include a thoracic surgeon, cardiologist, doctor, pharmacy. In grief meeting, it's a little different. We always have a therapist. And ironically enough, in our brand new Spanish support meeting that begins in June, that is led by a survivor of an aortic dissection who is an author and also is now a licensed therapist. So it's kind of like the best of all worlds. And if you ever wonder, well, why would I consider a virtual support group meeting? I'm on these Facebook pages, but support group meetings, not only do they offer individuals an opportunity to meet either in person or online, but they have a chance. You get this chance to share your story and you get this opportunity to listen to somebody's story, which can be very validating. And you hopefully become empowered to ask questions of your own physician. That's always the goal, right? You listen to stories. You might hear somebody share their experience and it makes you say, let me take this back to my doctor. I'm curious to know, did this happen to me? Can we utilize this treatment, etc.? Support groups are never meant to be used as a means of medical advice. That's just not what it's meant to do, or a substitute for a discussion between you and your physician. It's really just a forum for sharing experiences. And one of the things that we feel very confident about is that having these meetings led by other survivors, caregivers, and those who are grieving, having it led by people who have been vetted in that scenario is, if you've had a chest tube come out, you can ask them. You can ask a survivor. They have too, and they're going to tell you what you can commiserate on how horrible that was. If you're a caregiver and you've had a certain incident, being able to talk to another caregiver, they've probably experienced it as well. And I'm not diminishing the value of a medical practitioner or a nurse running a support group meeting, because that's all I ever knew before Aortic Hope. But when you go to them and you say, hey, what does this feel like? I'm going to be having a TEE. What should I expect? They're going to read you from the textbook. Okay. Unless they've had a transesophageal echocardiogram, they don't know what to expect. Unless they have had a procedure that's been endovascular, they don't know what their groin's going to feel like, or their wrist. They don't know what it's going to feel like. But when you talk to people in the community who are very similar to you in nature, your peers and your community, they will know what it feels like. So we have many, many different times that you can actually attend these support group meetings. Patient, general, open to everybody. That is on the first Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. All of our time slots are Eastern to make it not confusing. The second Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, and the last Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern. The caregivers group has new times. We had such a great meeting the other day, and Collectively, we've heard the requests from everyone, and what we are hearing is starting in June, we're going to try something new. It sounds like people really would be interested in having evening support group meetings. So we're moving on. The only aortic caregiver support group meetings that we are offering is going to be the first Monday of the month at 10 p.m. Eastern and the third Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Those are the ones that are endorsed and supported by Aortic Hope. And then the grief meetings are the second Tuesday every other month at 7 p.m. We will be having a Spanish-speaking support group meeting also that'll launch in June. And we also support the Canadian support group meetings, which are the first Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern as well. So we're just busy providing a ton of support. And all you need to do is click one of the links and fill out the form and register once. You will be notified with an email prior to the start of the event with a link to join. Okay? Simple. And then it's going to lead you to the next thing that we offer in the community, which is Hangouts. So if you want to meet with similar people again, but you don't want to talk about serious topics like aortic disease, then join a Hangout. Because now that you've signed up for the support group, you're also going to get notification of our Hangouts. And that's just what they are. You hang out. I mean, these people are hanging out for 5 hours sometimes on these calls. They are Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. There is no topic off the table. So little ears, don't tune in. If you get embarrassed, just be prepared to laugh a lot, have a great time, and who knows what everybody's going to talk about. I just never know. When I pop in, I usually turn red and then I pop out. But it's a ton of fun. And the point is we're creating a sense of community. So that's what I wanted to share with you for Therapeutic Thursday.